All right, folks, this is my 1984 W123 300D, and this might be something that you guys have experienced. Uh, really got to give it a, shouldn't have to do that. So let's get to work. I do apologize, I'm recording this on my phone, but as you can see here, this door latch is missing a pretty important piece that goes right there that'll assist it with closing. And while we're at it, looks like the previous owner, when things stopped going to plan, just caked everything up in grease and slime. So I'm gonna clean that up too while we're at it. So this is the missing piece. I printed this out of 95A polyurethane or TPU filament. They've held up pretty well for me so far. So if you need one, I'm selling them in packs of 4. I'm just trying to break even on my time and materials, not trying to make a killing out here. So just message me if you need one, and if I get them up on eBay, I'll put a link in the description. And for anyone wondering, the reason I chose polyurethane is because, as you can tell, the plastic one just disintegrates. This filament is very, very tough and flexible, and can hold up to the repeated impacts without breaking. And I printed it in an orientation that should hold up pretty well. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do is you wanna mark the old location of the strike, general location. You can fine tune it afterwards if it's not perfect. These came shimmed from the factory. Hopefully the shims are correct. They did this from the factory, so the shim should be right. Just don't get them mixed up between your doors. I just do one at a time. To mark the location, just use some good old masking tape or painter's tape. So just mark the X and Y location. That way you can at least put it back to the way it was if all hell breaks loose. All of mine needed a little bit of fine tuning. This is the last door on this car, my first time doing this job. So all of the other ones needed a little bit of fine tuning to get them perfect, but I'm assuming that's because someone fucked with them in the past. Next thing you're gonna wanna do is break all these bolts loose. They can be really tight. A few of my doors were insanely tight. So use a good quality Allen key. These happen to be Snap-on. They're pretty tight fit in here. And if it doesn't feel right, just pause. Maybe put some Croil on it, or some WD-40 or penetrating lube, and come back, give it another shot, because you really don't want to round these off. You'd have to drill them out, and that's a huge pain. So here goes nothing. Yeah, these are pretty tight. Let me see if I can get these broken loose. All right, I got all these broken loose. Took 2 hands. Like I said, trying to film this alone with my phone. But one tip that I learned from someone on the forums is when you get one of these out, there's basically a plate behind there that has your threads. And I've heard that plate can decide to go AWOL on you. So I would just pull one out. And then I made these tools. These are just some hardened bolts with the heads cut off. So if you take those and you put them, just thread them in a couple times. Because the heads are cut off, after you get the other ones out, it'll allow you to pull the latch off without taking these bolts out. And these will retain that backing plate for you. So after you get those off, you should end up with something like this, and you can kind of see that plate back there moving around. Pain in the ass. I just leave the shims on here. You can clean this shit up if you want to. Yeah, leave that up to you. So we're over here at the bench. So this is what we're working with. After you get this off, this piece just slides out of here. As you can see, there is not a lot left of that plastic piece. This was from another one of my latches, and as you can see, this stuff just, if you fart in its direction, it's gonna break on you. So definitely no good. But make sure you clean all this shit out of here. You don't wanna stuff the new part in and then have the old stuff in there still. So just do your due diligence, get this stuff cleaned out. I just use a little tool like this to kind of get in there and scoop it all out. So we'll get this one cleaned up, and I'll be right back. All right, so for the new piece, got this all cleaned up. Really important to get that bottom surface clean because that's where all the magic happens. For this new piece, goes in pretty easy. If you didn't see how the old one came out, then you'll need to know how the new one goes in. It just slides right down in here. I'm trying to do this one-handed. Fits just like that. And then the old rubber locator pin, whatever you want to call it, that just slides right in, and it should fit with a little groove right there. Yep, there we go. Should fit all pretty tight. Nothing really should have a whole lot of play in it. So, yep, there's your new piece installed. We're ready to put this back on the car. So getting it back on the car is not rocket science. Just install it right back where it came from. Line it up with the tape as best you can. I installed this one and I tweaked it a tiny bit to get the door to close better. And yeah, the screws, I think I heard somewhere they take 14 Newton meters. I noticed if I grab my ratchet about there, I'm right at about 14 Newton meters. So just tighten these things up, kind of cross from each other, and go through it twice, because after you tighten them up the first time, they might loosen up a little bit, kind of like pinch bolts on a motorcycle. One other little tip or little thing I did is this latch here, I kind of cleaned it out a bunch. I used some Croil, which this stuff is awesome. Been using it for years. Just sprayed that down to loosen up any old grease or anything that was causing this latch right here to stick. And then I just put a tiny, like a light coating of like white lithium grease on there. Just real light, just to kind of help it close. So after you do all that, this is what you should have. Nice and easy. No slamming, just nice, soft shut. Should just fall right into place. So, anyway, yep, if this video helped you out, just do me a favor, give it a like. I like fixing these old cars. I like helping other people fix these old cars. So, appreciate the views, and I'll see y'all next time.